Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Friday, so it's Return to Collecting Top 50 of all time, and it's a little bittersweet because we are at number one. So after today, the countdown's over, but we're now with the best, in my opinion, of all time. He was an incredible pitcher, an incredible hitter, and all around best baseball player of all time, likely the most famous athlete in American history. So without further ado, let's jump into number one. All right, guys, so at number one, Babe Ruth. So got his 33 Gaudy. Number 53's got obviously the 4 cards in the set. This is the yellow one. I picked this up a couple of years ago at a Denver card show. Love the image on this. There's the back of this guy. And then got his 32 Sinella Margarine, type 2. There's a little bit closer up. There's the back of it in German. You know, Sinella is a German margarine company. So there's those. I don't have my all-time favorite Babe Ruth card, this one, but hope to get that someday, the M1015. It's his rookie card. And I also have a Babe Ruth autograph, but it's hanging up on the wall, so. And there's my Babe Ruth autograph. Since it's hanging up on the wall, I'm not gonna take it down and bring it down to the table when I show the cards, but there's my Ruth auto. There we go. So number one on the list, George Herman Ruth was born on February 8th, 1895 in Baltimore, Maryland. His father was a saloon owner, and Ruth would run the streets and drink as a kid. His parents sent him to St. Mary's Industrial School for Boys when he was 7. He learned to play baseball there from brother Herman and was encouraged to stick with it from brother Matthias, head of discipline. So he and Ruth, they knew each other fairly well. He was a pitcher, but he could hit for power. He was signed by the Baltimore Orioles, a minor league team at the time, in 1914. Jack Dunn owned the team at the time, and a sports writer referred to Ruth as one of Dunn's babes. The nickname stuck, and we had Babe Ruth. That season, Baltimore got a new team, the Terrapins, and the new major league, the Federal League. The competition hurt the Orioles, so Dunn sold Ruth and a few other players to the Boston Red Sox to shore up some cash. Ruth became a solid pitcher for the Red Sox. Ruth didn't really like playing every 4 to 5 days, so he was getting frustrated as a pitcher. He ended up trying to hit an umpire who ejected him from a game. As the lineup thinned out during World War I, Ruth started playing the outfield and getting more chances to hit. He did okay, but his manager thought he'd want to be back in the rotation. He really didn't. The Sox still had him pitch, and he helped win the World Series with impressive pitching and hitting. He had a great 1919 season and started to show his expertise in hitting home runs. He led the league with 29, breaking the single-season record, which was previously 27. With the single-season home run record in hand, the Baltimore Red Sox sold Ruth to the Yankees. The owner of the Red Sox needed money to fund his play, My Lady Friends. Great move. The next season, Ruth hit 54 home runs, more than any other team other than the Phillies. The following season, Ruth passed the career home run record of 138. He held that record of all-time home run king for 52 years. Ruth's hitting ability was otherworldly. He was so far beyond the skills of his contemporaries. He was a driving force in saving America's pastime after the Black Sox scandal in 1919. So the time for him to come around and kind of make the home run popular, it was just the right time for baseball. His awards include winning the MVP. He's a 2-time All-Star, 7-time World Series champ. He won a batting title. He also won an ERA title. His single-season performance includes leading the league in ERA once, complete games once, shutouts once, runs scored 8 times, including 8 seasons with over 140, home runs 12 times, including 11 seasons with over 40 and 4 seasons with over 50, and of course, 60 in 1927, which stood as a record for the next 34 years. He led the league in RBIs 5 times, including 7 seasons with over 140, walks 11 times, batting average once, but he did hit over 340 10 times. On-base percentage 10 times, slugging percentage 13 times, OPS 13 times, OPS plus 12 times, and total bases 6 times, including the record of 457 total bases in 1921 with 85 singles, 44 doubles, 16 triples, and 59 home runs. For his career, he had 2,174 runs scored, 5th all-time, 136 triples. I mean, that's pretty good for a guy his size. He was up there with like George Brett, Pete Rose, DiMaggio are all about the same in triples. 714 home runs, third all time. 2,214 RBIs, third all time. 123 stolen bases, again, not bad for a big guy. 2,062 walks, third all time. A 342 career batting average, puts him 10th all time in the MLB, but higher than guys that were really known for their batting average, like Willie Keeler and Tony Gwynn. A 474 on base percentage, second all time. 690 slugging percentage, first all time. 1.164 OPS, first all time, and a 206 OPS plus, putting him first all time. He also had 5,793 total bases, putting him eighth all time. And I don't really talk about WAR, but he had 182.6 WAR, putting him first all time by a significant margin. I think he's about 16 points higher than the guy in second. I believe it's Walter Johnson. He truly excelled in all aspects of hitting. He was truly, truly the best of the best. Ruth played his last season for the Boston Braves before retiring in 1935. Ruth's impact on America is profound. He made the home run popular, which changed the face of baseball forever. He was the first true superstar athlete. Cobb, Wagner, and Shoeless Joe were famous before him, but not like Ruth. Plus, Ruth showed the future generations the benefits of being good to their fans. Ruth was famous for doing great things for kids. The guy was truly larger than life. I mean, he has his own adjective in the dictionary, Ruthian, meaning prodigiously accomplished. Not too shabby. As the greatest baseball player of all time, and likely the most famous American athlete of all time, his memorabilia sells for an incredible premium. I'm really looking forward to seeing what his Called Shot jersey goes for at auction next month. It could break the all-time record for the most expensive piece of memorabilia. Some quotes by Babe Ruth include, "Baseball was, is, and always will be the best game in the world." Don't ever forget two things I'm about to tell you. 1, don't believe everything that's written about you. And 2, don't pick up too many checks. I won't be happy until every boy in America between the ages of 6 and 16 are wearing a glove and swinging a bat. I'll promise to go easier on drinking and to get to bed earlier, but for $50,000 or even $250,000, I won't give up women. They're too much fun. I never heard a crowd boo a homer, but I've heard plenty of boos after a strikeout. If I'd just tried for them dinky singles, I could have batted around 600. And then lastly, what the hell has Hoover got to do with it? Besides, I had a better year than he did when asked why his contract was bigger than the President of the United States. And like all the other videos, we'll close it out with some quotes about Ruth. He had such a beautiful swing. He even looked good striking out. Teammate Mark Koenig. He hits a ball harder and further than any man I ever saw. Teammate Bill Dickey. He was very brave at the plate. You rarely saw him fall away from a pitch. He stayed right in there. No one drove him out. Manager Casey Stengel. I had one great game against him. I held him to 3 hits. Pitcher Raleigh Styles. I hope he lives to hit 100 homers in a season. I wish him all the luck in the world. He has everybody else, including myself, hopelessly outclassed. Home Run Baker. No one hit home runs the way Babe did. They were something special. They were like homing pigeons. The ball would leave the bat, pause briefly, suddenly gain its bearings, then take off for the stands. Hall of Famer Dizzy Dean. Ruth made a grave mistake when he gave up pitching. Working once a week, he might have lasted a long time and become a star. All-time great Tris Speaker, obviously joking. Some 22 years ago, I stopped talking about Babe for the simple reason that I realized that those who never saw him didn't really believe me. Tommy Holmes. It's a pretty big shadow. It gives me a lot of room to spread myself. Number 4 to Ruth's number 3, friend and teammate Lou Gehrig. The greatest name in American sports history is Babe Ruth, a hitter, all-time great hitter, Ted Williams. To understand him, you had to understand this. He wasn't human. Teammate Joe Dugan. All right, guys, so there's the 33 Gaudy, number 53. And the Sinella Margarine, type 2. All right, guys. So hope you enjoyed number 1, Mr. Babe Ruth. So before we close this one out, I wanted to show a 2011 Topps Diamond Anniversary Babe Ruth. The card itself, not huge. What is cool though is look at all the red on the back of that. It's all of his seasons and leading the league and all this stuff. And that doesn't even include the seasons he led the league in pitching statistics. But I thought that was kind of cool. So number one, the countdown's over. Hope you guys enjoyed the countdown. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you liked the ranking or disliked the ranking, let me know in the comments. If you liked the video or the countdown in general and you're not subscribed, please subscribe. If you are subscribed, I appreciate your subscription. All right, guys. Well, that was it. Countdown's done. I'll talk to you later.